Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dhwani Gupta, and I am the GDSC lead for this year's term. And I welcome you all to the first ever collaboration event of Google Developer Students Club at MIT and ACM Student Club at MIT. The purpose of this workshop is to make sure that you understand the basics of Flutter and we create basic apps. Without further ado, let's just kickstart this event. You will be provided a one-time Wi-Fi access sometime later in the event because there's a lot of traffic right now. Be sure to write the code with the facilitator, and if you miss the code somehow, don't worry, we will provide you the link of the GitHub repository. Other than that, please note that all the questions will be taken up at the end of the event. Don't worry, we will try to answer all of your questions, and if we are not able to, you can just text us on our Instagram handles. So this is the event of Flutter. I will now be introducing the GDSC team. I am Dhwani Gupta and I am the lead this year. We have Ayush Bhatt, who is the ML developer. Then we have P.K. Salatia, Rishabh Singh Jambol, Pankit Mahajan, and today's rockstar, Mr. Mohammed Tavish Pandey and Raghav Sharma. And this is Shipalika ma'am, who doesn't know her. So she's the faculty advisor for both of our chapters, and I just have to tell you, she's amazing when it comes to like organizing events and stuff. So we'll just see a short video as to what Google Developer Students Club is. At this point, I request you all to kindly scan the second QR code on the pages that has been provided to you. It is the QR code to join the club. Just stay quiet, please. So since this video is not working, I'll give you a basic introduction of what a GDSC club is. GDSC, that is Google Developer Student Clubs, are university-based clubs that help students uplift their status as developers and work with the community. What our job is, we identify the problems in our society and try to develop solutions for them. That is what the video said. But honestly, for me, GDSC is a club where I learned that I have to learn something. I have to contribute to the society as a developer. Because honestly, by third year, you need to understand that you need to have certain knowledge of at least one field. Because by the final year, you have to start working on your projects and this platform. Even as a matter of fact, ACM, we all help you all to understand some basics of computers and like you can develop even your languages and stuff. So since this is not working, let's just move on ahead. So these are few of our past achievements, like the achievements of previous DSC leads. Android Study Jams, 30 Days of Google Cloud. We just had that campaign for ourselves as well. 30 development workshops like this one and machine learning sessions. We will come up with ML very soon. This is our work so far. So we did a web development workshop with GDSC BIT Chennai, and we had more than 850 participants on an online event. 30 days of Google Cloud, we had more than 40 people who had completed both the tracks. That means more than 40 people will get goodies for both the tracks. And then we had a collaboration with GDG Nagpur and five other GDSCs. There were more than 4,000 views on our YouTube channel. So now I request Anirudra to introduce my ACM student chapter.
Hello everyone, I'm audible at last?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks Sunny for having me, and today I will introduce everyone with my ACM student chapter. I'm Anirudra, I'm the chair or the president for this chapter. And again, we had a video prepared for you guys, but let's see if we can take off them. see what ACM is about. So ACM is short for Association for Computing Machinery. It's at its core is a research organization, and they have all the student chapters all over the world. So this is a digital library. They have all the stuff with the publication, the research record, and the amazing student chapters all over the world. So we collaborate with each other, and if you want to be the part of the big peer test. So after that, moving on to the professional student chapters, and let's move back to the slide. So yeah, let me discuss about the student chapter. So according, like a simple word, student chapter is just a group of students trying to organize or achieve some task with coordinating with each other. So ACM has this worldwide forums in the ACM student members. You all can be student members and get the uh, to serve the community. So we provide all kinds of seminars, lectures, network opportunities with the peers. You can work on the projects with us, and we are happy to collaborate with everyone. So let's meet the amazing team of Ascension chapter. So that's me. Anil Gupta. I'm the chair. If you want to connect with me, feel free to text me or just connect with me on email. We have Mahesh Sharma. She's the vice chair. Mike, if you can say hi.
Hello everyone.
So yeah, she's the vice chair, and we have Tony, she's the treasurer, and Ankush and Aman, which are membership chair and general secretary respectively. So then we have Devam, she's the publicity, he is the publicity coordinator, Vidyapal and Nihal, which are joint secretary and outreach coordinator. So these are some of the work we have done till now. We are hosting eminent speaker sessions on blockchain, cybersecurity. I don't know how many of you get to be the part of it, but from now on, everything is, as you can see, physical. We will have more interaction with you, and yeah, just to get better from here on. Then we have some post-traumatic moderation, and you are most welcome to be our first part of the our offline workshop. So let me introduce to our facilitator for today. This is an amazing person and a good expertise in Flutter. So yeah, we are in a good hands for today, and let's start the meeting. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Rajesh and I'm from CSE Department Director. I've been working on Flutter since last 8.5 and I've done a lot of projects on Flutter. Today I'm very honored to be here and I thank you all guys for coming. So, be- so before I start, I want to know how many of you guys are interested in web development. So before I start, I want to know how many of you guys are interested in web development.
Just raise your hand.
Just raise your hands. Okay. Now, how many of you are interested in mobile app development, whether it be iOS or Android?
Okay, one is interested there.
Okay, great. So before I start, let me just take my PPT here. Has anyone of you already created any app using Flutter? Okay, no problem. We will be creating one. So before I start, I want to show you my recent works. First, the Docker Mobile. It's an application to monitor and manage multiple Docker hosts using a mobile application. If you don't know about Docker, you can check it at your homes. It's on Play Store with more than 1K downloads. Yeah, this is here on the Play Store. And the other one is a VMI. It's a simple app for VMI calculator. It's not nothing much, but it's just that I created it and it's on Play Store as well. The third app is a Coviad. We created this app in the recent hackathon, NVIDIA AI Connect hackathon. We were participating with my team, Diwali, me and Rishabh, and we won 1 lakh prize all over India. We were placed third. I want to show you also the glimpse of this app. It was basically for for abiding to the rules for the COVID-19 at our campus. It's in the development phase. We have not completed yet. Once we complete, we'll also publish this on the Play Store. So I will come to the video of this app. This is COVID. First, you need to sign in. Then it's like any Google account. After that, you have to take a picture of yourself with a mask on in order to log in. Here, the camera and click the picture. Now we can see mask has been created and you have successfully logged in the app. Now there are 5 screens on this app. First, the home screen. It shows you the real-time location of the users of this app. In the red, you can see how many users are at a particular location. It will also give you the COVID, crowd hotspots near you. Then we have feed. In the feeds, you will get live COVID stats and the latest COVID news, also Twitter news about the COVID-19. Then you have an emergency tab for emergency contact for nearest health centers as well as college helplines. You can click any of them and it will give you the location, directions to the nearest health center on the Google Maps. Yeah, as you can see, healthcare multi-specialty clinic and you can get directions out as well. Then we have another tab for reports. In order to report any COVID-19 cases to your campus, you can report by clicking the add button on the top and then giving the title, description and some attachments and then submit. Then the last screen is the profile where you can you have information about yourself, your email, current location, display name. You can also edit the username or contact and the vaccination status. There are a lot of things that we need to add to this app that's in the development phase, but they are not implemented yet. We are working on it, and once we complete that, the app will be fully completed and placed on the Play Store. Thank you. It was about my works. Now I will move to the presentation. So for the today's agenda, first I will be introducing about about the Flutter. Then I will be telling about the prerequisites. We have already shared you how to install and Flutter and about the GitHub, why you need that GitHub account. Then I will be discussing about a Dart language, some basics. Then Flutter layouts, widgets, and then at last we will be discussing about the VMI calculator and code it live here, and then the project submission also. So, what is Flutter? Flutter is a Google UI toolkit for building beautifully natively compiled applications for all the platforms. It's a cross-platform development software. You can create apps for mobile, whether it be iOS or Android, or web or desktop, Linux, Windows or Mac. You just need to write code in a single language, Dart, and it will compile into the everything. Like you can see here, if you write code for a mobile application, it's also created for the web and the desktop. We will be creating this VMI calculator, and I will show you how this is implemented on all the 3 platforms, whether it be a mobile app or web app or desktop app. Then there are 4 pillars on which a Flutter is based. First is beautiful. Flutter creates very beautiful apps because it supports libraries like Material and Cupertino. And all the widgets in the Flutter, are fully customizable. You can customize in their own way. And the second pillar is fast. Flutter uses basically SKM mobile engine, rendering engine. It's a very fast rendering engine, and it renders graphics at 60 frames per second. That's very fast. So it also creates this fast, platform apps which without junk and everything. Then we have productive. Flutter is known for its productivity because you can create apps for all the platforms using a single code base. So time for creating a code for an app decrease and productivity increase. Then the last is the open. Flutter is fully open source on GitHub. You can easily contribute to the Flutter and give any suggestions if you want, or you can contribute to the Flutter repository as well. Now, what is Dart? Dart is just a client optimized programming language. It's just like other programming languages like C or C++ or Java. You write code in Dart for a Flutter application. But one thing about Dart is important that it is used for creating fast apps on any platform, whether it be web, desktop, Android, or embedded. The embedded part is in the development state for the Flutter, but the web, desktop, and Android are already in the stable branch. So Dart has also a package manager. It's known as PUB. It is available on the pub.dev. Here all the packages from the community are available. You can use them in your apps. Then Dart can also compile into JavaScript. It's with the extension of Dart2.js and it's used in the web apps. I'm going to show you how to write code in Dart live on the Dartpad. It's an online platform for practicing the Dart code. So first of all, I want to introduce like with the variables. Like in C++, you use int and then declare variable name. First of all, I will write int a equals 20, then int b equals 40. Then I can print the sum a plus b, and you can click on run.
That was switched to light mode.
It has dark mode by default.
Zoom in. Is it visible?
See, if I write a code, if a is equal to 20, then print a is 20. You can use the else statement also, else print a is not 20. These are same, just like we have in C or C++ or Java. You can also use the else if. Here you need to write another condition. You can write here else if else if v equals 20, print v is equals 40. V is 40. It's used for if else ladder, same as C++, nothing much more. Then we are having loops. While loop is the same, do while loop is also the same. Only the difference is in for loop. So here we use for loop. We use for loop as for, then where I. First we need to create a list to iterate in the loop. You can write list of strings, fruits, like you can have banana, mango, apple. Then in order to iterate in the list, you can use where for loop for where I in fruits, print I. Just simple as that. Now it will iterate into this list and print all. So here it's string, I think. Yeah, it's string. Now I think I'll just first run this code. On the top you can see here you have button for run. Yeah, as you can see on the console first, we printed the sum of A and B and here is 60. Then we use this if and else loop. So here is A is equal to 20, so it's printed A is 20. It's not gone further because if condition is satisfied, then no need for going on the else. Then at last, for iterating this loop, we use the for loop. As you can see, all the three fruits are here: banana, mango, and apple. So yeah, here. So this Dart language, it's not too complicated. It's simple, just like C or C++. You can learn it. If you know the concepts, basic concept about C++, the OOPS concept, you can just learn it in I think 10 to 15 days max. So it's not too hard to start with. So I will not be discussing in detail about Dart because we have very less time. I think this much is enough for today. I will just jump to the next section on the presentation. Yeah. So as I told you before, in Flutter everything is a widget. So what is widget? Widget is a basic fundamental part of any Flutter app. If you see here, here is a Flutter demo homepage. First you see this app bar. This is a widget. Then you can see this text. It's also a widget. Then here this zero. It's also a widget. Then this plus button, floating action button. It's also a widget. So Flutter is created using these widgets. So whether it be a text bar or any other element, everything is basically created by widget. There are two kinds of widgets: stateless widget and stateful widgets. Stateless widgets are used when you have static functionality in the Flutter app. Just you can, if you have any text for example, Flutter R, you can just use a stateless widget because it will not change. It's a static component. But if you have a dynamic component, just like a list or a counter where you can where you have to display 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, you need to use stateful widget. It is used for the dynamic if you have dynamic change in your app. Then for IDE, you know, for every application or we code we write on any IDE. For Flutter, you can use Dart, and it can be written on IDEs like Android Studio, IntelliJ, VS Code, or Atom. You can use any one of them. My preference personally is VS Code. It's a lot better than the other. But if you want to use another, or you are familiar with the other IDEs, you can also use them. So you can also share this event or your photos on the social media. You can post the photos or snippets with these tags and accounts: Google Devs, Google Student Developers, Developer Student Clubs, and also this Might ASM chapter on the LinkedIn. Now let me just show you what we are going to create today. It's a BMI, simple BMI calculator app. It's not difficult, it's simple.
If MobileNet is working for you all, you can scan the third code, that is the QR code for repository. You can open the repository on your phone using your MobileNet, and if you're not able to see the code, if you're able to see it, then it's fine.
Now, as you can see, this is the Flutter BMI calculator app. We are going to build this today live here, hopefully. So I will play the video. It's a 24-second video of this functionality of this app. First, you need to select your gender, male or female, then your age, then your weight, and then your height in centimeters. Then simply click on the button, that's it, and your BMI will be displayed. So this is a simple BMI calculator. I think we can complete this today here. So without a further ado, let's start. Let's start with the coding. So for the questions or any queries, we'll be having two timings. First, after I will discuss. First, I have to discuss this counter app. Then we will have 2 minutes break. I will discuss some. I will take some questions in that as well. Then we will be creating this Flutter VMI calculator app, and after that, at the end, we will take the further questions.
There seems to be a sort of glitch in the pages that we've handed down to you. We placed the wrong QR code, but don't worry, when you fill up the feedback form, we will mail the repository link to all of you. So as of now, you can just focus on what's going on the screen.
So I think I need to discuss this ID again. ID stands for Integrated Development Environment.
How many of you know what is IDE? What does it mean? Raise your hand if you know what does it mean by IDE. See, it's written there IDE support. What does it mean? How many of you know this thing? Raise your hand. No one knows? Okay, so you should ask. See, it's a hands-on session. If you are not able to do that on the hands-on, lively, now only, what you can do, I hope I'm audible enough to everyone. सबको आवाज समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? सुनाई दे रहा है सबको? तो आई होप या आई एम गुड विदाउट माइक एज वेल. देखो हैंड्स ऑन सेशन है, तो हैंड्स ऑन सेशन में अगर नेट की अवेलेबिलिटी रिक्वायर्ड है और आप नहीं कर पा रहे हो, यू चेक हेयर, यू सी हेयर एंड ट्राई टू आस्क इफ यू आर गेटिंग समथिंग, सम वर्ड रिटन देयर ऑन द पीपीटी, यू आस्क व्हाट इट इज. You are here to learn. See, at the end of the workshop, you should know what you learn and what you can develop. I'm not saying that you will develop now only straight away after this workshop, but you should know what you learn. IDE क्या था वहाँ पे? कौन से IDE support थे? They are using one IDE. Okay, apart from that, there are some other options as well that are available for this thing. So you should ask कि IDE support क्या है? ये visualize करो अपने mind में कि क्या हमें कैसे करना है. Objective is to develop one application. They showed you one more thing. One application with BMI calculation. How to calculate BMI. So now see कैसे देखना है इसको. You should focus on that thing. UI कैसे बनाए, क्या क्या options हैं, और उस UI के ऊपर आप उस options को fill करने के लिए क्या कर रहे हो. Whether you are clicking, whether you are dragging and dropping to select some option. तो आप वो चेक करो एंड योर क्वेश्चन शुड बी लाइक ये ऑप्शंस कैसे बनाएंगे, और उसका कोड उसी के रेलेवेंट देखोगे. Again, you see, objective is to develop one application. Okay, so they will be helping you with the knowledge and the skills required to develop that application. Okay, so please, keeping that thing in mind, you try to use your hotspot as of now. If that internet is not working, so you try to use hotspot to create that thing instantly. If you are not able to do that thing, try to learn what they are trying to do. ठीक है, अब ये देखो यहाँ पे तुम्हें किस पे फोकस करना है. एप्लीकेशन दिख रहा है BMI calculator. So there are some options that user need to click, and once you will get to know, you can create your own as per your need and as per the application's requirement. So you see there male female select करने के लिए age कैसे select कर रहे हैं और height कैसे select कर रहे हैं. समझ में आ रहा है क्या चल रहा है? आप if you are not getting, ask them to please stop. I want to see this thing. दिख नहीं रहा, आगे आ जाओ. मैं उसका मेरे ख्याल से सबको विजिबल है. आप बोलते हो कि ये जूम कर देंगे वहाँ. So don't sit idle. If they are trying to convey something, if they are trying to pass their information to you, you try to perceive it, you try to grab it. I hope you are getting this thing. ठीक है, तो ध्यान से देखो, पूछो और समझने की कोशिश करो कैसे डेवलप हो रहा है. इस सेशन में जितना समझ सकते हो समझो, बाद में भी पकड़ लेना. ये तुम्हारे पास हेल्प करते हैं. ठीक है.
Welcome back guys.
स्कैन या फोटो ले.
Okay, please no talking, silence please. Next time you will be organizing, you maybe from you only you will be organizing all this event and you will be imparting knowledge to others. First semester, so think into that direction. It is for you, by you. स्कैन करके देखो Starvation.
Shall we?
Yeah, move. आपकी रिलीज कैसे now check.
Now I'll start from the basics. How to create an app. First, you need to create a folder. Let me give this name BMI calculator app. Then here you need to open command prompt. You can left click and open using Windows terminal, or if you don't have that, you can simply search here CMD and click it and it will open. Now here first step is to create an app. In Flutter you just have to write a single line and the app will be created. I will write this line. It's Flutter create my
ताबी zoom कर दो.
Is it visible now? So you just have to write Flutter create my BMI app. That's it. I will give a hyphen here and click enter. So you cannot give hyphen, just give on this underscore. It will take some seconds to create an app. It generates all the boilerplate code which is required for the application. Just hang on for a little bit. Yeah, as you can see, this app is created. Now you need to go into the app directly using this command cd bmi app. Now you are here, you can see from this here. Now you need to run the Flutter app. The way I used to run this is using VS Code. So to open VS Code from the command prompt, you just need to write code and then a dot and click enter. So you can see the VS Code has opened successfully. Now for using mobile application you need an AVD, which stands for Android Virtual Device. It's just an Android phone on your laptop, but it's virtual. So to open that AVD, I just need to go to this lib folder. It's very special folder because all the code or your files for your app should reside here in this folder. Main is the just as in C we have any file, then we have main function, which is the starting point of any. When we run the code, there is starting function where the function runs. So main dot is also a file. When the Flutter runs any app, so it first goes to this main application and runs this void main function. Whatever comes under this main function runs on your device, whether it be a mobile or laptop or desktop. So here, by default, Flutter gives some boilerplate code. It's just a code for any add counter app. Now you can select an ABD from here. I think you can see this Windows option here. Is it visible to everyone? So you just need to click here, and it will show you all the available devices on which you can run this application. First is Windows. It is a desktop app. Then Chrome, web app, as is also for web application. I will first show how to run this app on Android. So just click here. This AVD is already created. I want to also show you how this AVD is created. For this you need to open Android AVD Manager. I think in the prerequisites we have shared to download some applications like Android Studio, VS Code, and I think there was something else also. You can see from the link which was shared with you. First is Android Studio. You just need to open it. Then here in the config section you have this AVD Manager. It stands for Android Virtual Device Manager. Just click it. It will give you the list of devices. If you want to create your own virtual device, just click on this create and then proceed forward. It's simple. Now I have already these two devices created. I will use one of them in this for this app. For this you need to click here Windows and just click on the AVD. My AVD name was Pixel 4 XL API 30. Just click here. I will just optimize my screen for seeing both phone and the code. In this way, it's my favorite way of developing the code because you can see the change in this application on the real time. I forgot to mention that one of the most important feature of Flutter is hot reload. So what is hot reload? Hot reload is a function of Flutter app where you just need to save your code and the change will be shown on the real time with I think delay of 0. Some seconds, which means it's super fast. You need not in Java we just write code then compile. It takes time for seeing the change on a whole application. But with the Flutter, you just need to click save and the change will be seen on the real time on this application. Now I have selected here Pixel 4 XL API. Just you can see it from here. Now to run the application, on the top here is the play button. Just click on this play button. There will be two options: start debugging or run before debugging. So I want you just to click on the run before debugging. It will run your app without debugging. It's better for development. You can for debugging the app later. You can start the debugging also. Just wait for some seconds till this application is compiled. First time it takes I think 2 to 3 minutes to load on the AVD, but then when we write our code and change the code, it's just in the real time. That's the beautiful thing about the hot reload. What?
Can you zoom it more?
Code? Till that time, I will discuss you about these 4 options here. Problems section, here all the problems to Flutter app, whether it be any typos in your code, it will be shown here. In the output, you see the output of your app. If you print anything here, you can see it. On the terminal, you can run the commands like flutter create or flutter pub run for downloading any packages. In the debug console, you see the debug messages. What's happening while the application is building on the AVD. You see, if I want another container, I will use this container here and click on save. Now there is an interesting part here. You can see here the size overflow by 48 pixels. What is this? So you cannot create size as you please because some screens have smaller size, some have bigger. As you know, if you can see the iPhone 5s, it was of a smaller size. But nowadays with iPhone 12 you have bigger size. Similarly with the tablets and other devices, you have different screen size and orientation. So for this, if you have bigger size, let me give this button. Now you can see there is no error. But for a smaller size, there is an error. So what you need to do? So for this, you need to place this container in expanded widget. Expanded widget is a widget that takes the screen which is available on the screen. You don't need to get a width constraint here. So I will just remove this width and wrap up this container into an expander. Expanded and save. You see the error has successfully eliminated from here. Similarly, I can do with this with that container above with me. I can click this button and you can remove the width. Then wrap this container with expanded. And click save. Now see the interesting part here. It's perfectly fine, but let me give some space also between these two. For that, as I told earlier, size box is our widget. Let me give a width of 16. And click save. Now see the amazing part here. I will just change the size of this application and see how it's fitted dynamically. See, it has taken all the available space on the left and the right without any errors. So this works for any. Let this font is a bigger font. So let me make it small, like this. And you can see the size is adjust automatically according to the screen size, height, and width dimensions. So this was basic about this VMI calculator and how it can create these two buttons. Now we will take a break for 5 minutes, and you can discuss your questions related up till now here.
Does anybody have any questions? सुना है किसी ने कुछ? Guys, we will be wrapping up this event very soon. If you have any questions related to the Flutter, web development, app development, you can ask him.
Yeah, right now.
Just do it right now because we will be done by this session. Any questions? खत्म करें, continue करें?
Okay guys, I think you don't have any questions. Let's just start in 1 minute. Weight equals how much should we give? Let me give 70. Then for implementing this, we need to have similar like these two rows. We need another row in a column. So here in the above column we have this row. We will just copy this. Just copy paste, nothing more. Just copy this and paste here. And see here we have this another row of these digits. Now we need to have some spacing also between these rows. For this, again our friend size box of height, let me again 16. Then comma here and save. Now we have these two rows. Now for this we need to have here age and weight respectively. So for this nothing much, just click here and give weight in kgs obviously. Then here in the another section we need to have weight. So okay. Here is it's age not weight. So age. Then we have here weight. And save here. Now these are two widgets of age and weight. Now for here we don't need now icon. We just need a simple text which can increase dynamically. So for this, replace this icon with simple text. Let me just copy this text. I don't want to write again. Here you can write. You can give the age variable, weight variable here. Dot. But in text you need to have parameter as string, not as int. So for converting this int variable into a string, you have a function dot to string. You click save, and now you can see the age here. But I want font a bit larger. Let me give 48. Yeah, it looks good now. 70. So similarly, I have to do the same for age. Now here, I will not use weight here. I will use the age variable instead. Now you see here we have age and weight respectively. Now for increasing them, I can use buttons. So I can use this icon buttons. These plus and minus with the functionality. Without any changes, it's known as icon. But if you want to change when we click on them, it's known as icon button. So for this, you need to have icon button here. So for this, for this icon button, you have to just use icon button. Then this icon button takes two arguments. Yeah, here. One is on press and one is icon. So on press means what you want to do after you press that button. So let me just give nothing. And then for the icon, you need to give the icon, what you want. So for this icon, I need plus for increasing the age. So you can write icons dot add. Then add comma here. Now see here a little button for plus has appeared. Now here you can see in the application we have plus and minus in a row. So we don't need to use this icon here like that. We have to use it inside a row for having both plus and minus. So wrap up it with the row with it. So here you have children. First icon button of add. Then you can have another for subtract. I don't know what its name is, so don't worry, we have Google. Just click material icons. Click on this material icons. So here is a list of all material icons which are inside material library that I said earlier. You can use any icon from here. Just select what icon do you want. I want less. Just select here. Now you see here. Let me find mine. So here we don't have. Let me use mine. Yeah. So its name is not mine in the material library. It's removed. So just use here icon dot remove and it will work. Hopefully. See, it has worked. But now here it's in the starting. I don't want in the start. I want in the center. So what we should do? We should again use main axis alignment. So main axis alignment of main axis element was center. And save it. Or we have this in the center. But I don't like this, equal spacing from here and here. I want some space, more spacing between the plus and minus. So what should I do? Main axis element and other options like if you had dot, it centers space around between evenly. Let's play with all of them. So first space around. If you save, you see these are having space, maximum space between these two. Now if we select another one, dot space between, let's see what happens. It gives the maximum spacing between these two icons. Now let's see what happens with space evenly. So space evenly gives same space from all the sides here, right, left, center. Now is there anything more? Yeah, it's start and values. Start makes them in the start. It's by default and values. Values inside this we need to give our own values how we want space. So I think space around was looking better, so we just use this space around. Yeah, it's looking nice. But again, these icons are small. I want them a little bit bigger. So just copy the size from the above here, 38. You can just use similar size here also. Yeah, here in the icons. Just add size option, and here in the icon just add this size option as well. Now save, see the size has increased. Now if you click here, see nothing is happening. Why? Because we have not implemented this function which is onPressed. OnPressed is a function which is used to change the variables dynamically on the application. So we need to implement this onPressed. So what should we do? If we click add, we want this number to increase. So for this, we can use age plus plus. That's it. A simple one-line code. Now add it. Is there anything happening? No. Why? It's because you are increasing this age, and if I show you it's increasing or not, I can use print statement. I can give print age, and it should print the age. But this print is shown in the terminal. See, I will click on the plus on the output, I think. Yeah. No, on the debug also. Yeah. On the debug also. If I select here, if I select plus here, this function onPress runs, and see here the value has changed 29, 30. I will use again 31, 32, 33, 34. But why doesn't it appear here? This is because this stateful widget has an important function which is known as setState. It only runs the build function again when we use the setState. So just use setState function here and place this age inside this function. Just click save. Now, see the beautiful part. I will change 36, 37, 38, 35, and every time it will change the value dynamically using the stateful widget. So now we have to do the same with the weight also. Let's just copy the code from here. This one press copy. For the minus sign also we need to do age. Yeah, what is it? Age minus. Now you can see age is also decreasing. That's cool. Now we need to implement weight also. So for weight, I'll just copy this code again. Pressed. Weight. First we need to add these two plus and minus icons. So we have to just copy this row. Now paste it in this container again. Here I guess. So yeah. Now for this we don't have to decrease age. We have to use weight instead. And here age plus plus we need to have weight. Now click save. Now let's see if it works. 70, 71, 72. It decreases also as well. So this is how we can use stateful widgets in our app and how we can change the dynamic content dynamically in our app. Now, if a user wants to select this mail option here, so if I select here now, nothing happens here. Also, here is a typing mistake. I think you guys are sleeping. Here should be female. So I will correct it myself. Here we have to write female instead because gender can be male or female. So save, now female. Also, what we want to do, anybody? Is there any mistake here? Huh? Yeah, exactly. Sign. So let me change the sign also. Female. Now see, female sign is also there. Now let me increase the size of this to 48. I think more 58 would be fine. Yes. Now here also 58. Now it looks good. But how can I select? You know, if I select here, it's already selected. But I want the functionality where when I select, this color should be black. Otherwise, it should not be black. So how can I do that? It's also very simple. Just go to this icon here, and you have a functionality called color. Just color, new colors dot gray. See, this color is again gray. But I want the select functionality also. So what we need to do, we have to click on this. But this is an icon and we cannot click. So just like here, we have this icon which is clickable. We can use here similarly the icon button widget here. So for changing this is an icon button, click this little light bulb and wrap with a widget icon button. And this icon button we have a child called icon and then on press. Yeah, it's done. So you know for changing for colors, I need for changing this, you know, selecting this and that, I need another variable is male, which will keep track of or you know this variable whether it's male or female. So it's a true or false variable. So we can use bool. Bool is male. Let me initialize with true. Let's see how we can use that in this color. So here you can write color is male. If it's true, then give colors dot black. Otherwise, give colors dot gray. I think you are familiar with this ternary operator. Are you guys? This question mark and colon. So it's just a simple way to write if else statement in a single line. Let me show you this in Dartpad as well. So I earlier I said if A is 20, then else. If you want to do that in a single line, you can use print
Maintain
A.
decorum. Everyone
Then
maintain decorum.
condition A equals 20. If it's true that I want to print A is 20. Otherwise, I want to print A is not 20. Print A is not 20. So that if else statement in the 5 to 6 lines is just now in a single line. Now if you hit run, see A is 20 has printed. Now if I change, let me see if it works. Now just click run. Yeah, A is not 20. So ternary operator is a simple way to use if else statement. I have used this ternary operator here also to check the if male then the color is not black, otherwise color is not gray. See here. Now if I click here, nothing happens because I have not implemented this on press functionality. So similarly do set state, then view is male function is important is male, not is male. Now what it does, it has changed this true to false, so it will not be selected. Let me check if it works. Yeah, it works. If I select C, color change to black and it's selected. If I click again, color has disabled and which means it's not selected right now. Now we need to do the same with the female button also. We just need to follow the same steps again. For this female, just also wrap this up with an icon button. Icon button here. Then you don't have child argument, you have icon instead. And in the on press, you have to do the same thing. No, you don't have to do anything other. Just copy this code here, on press. Then bring here. So I think here is a mistake. Let me see what it is. Yeah, I mixed this braces here. So I will again paste it here. And now here we need to do the same thing. I will select here. It's not working right now. Why? Let me see. So yeah, it's not working because I have not given the color. This two lines. I need to paste it here also. Now see if I click on female, female should be selected. Wait a second. Yeah, see I just restarted and it worked. Now if I select male and if I select female, it's working. Now the remaining part, I think the time has exceeded our time. Sorry for holding you this day along. Now the later part of the application, I will just share the project link, full project link where I have implemented this VMI calculator myself. It's on GitHub. You can just go to I think this QR code. Here you can scan this or just you can take a pictures of this QR code. It will take you to a GitHub repository where I have implemented this VMI calculator app. We just have one thing again left here, it's slider button. That's it. And the next button, next page where you show the result. That's also simple. If you want to build this app, you can clone my repository on the GitHub and then see the remaining code of this project. You can directly go to this link also. We will share this link later in the feedback form, the form or in the WhatsApp group. You will see what we can do if you need this repository. So remember one thing: when you visit this repository link, there will be my repository like this. You just need to go here and select another branch. It's called BMI Calculator Final. Just click this branch, and the code here will be inside this BMI Calculator app. Yeah. Is there anything else?
Okay, so with this, we are about to wind up the session. Thank you so much, Tavish.
Thank you very much.
So students, there is an announcement. As we winding up with this session, you all would be requiring the certificates. There are 2 certificates that we are offering. Certificate of participation and another certificate is for the appreciation. Certificate of participation will be forwarded to individual student by scanning the QR code which has been already provided to you all. The certificate of appreciation will be provided to only those students who submit their code, right? All those who have coded over here in the workshop. Certificate of appreciation will be provided to them. All you need to do is you have to share your code with Tavish. He will be just sharing his email ID right behind the screen. So all those who submit their code will be receiving the certificate of appreciation from our end. So again, thank you so much.